Hey guys, welcome back to more Paranormasight. Last time we made it through the first half of the game, which is the night section. Now this time we're moving on to the daytime part. We only have two routes available for us right now, which is Tetsuo's route and Yako's route. So yeah, I'm going with Tetsuo's one because that's what the icon is. Is defaulted as. Maybe because I wasn't bothered to change it, but whatever. Okay, so Hajime Yoshimi's death, Jima's threat of mass murder, the problems just pile up, putting the detective's goal of collecting all the curse stones in jeopardy. Susumi leaves area to handle the investigation while he catches a quick break. Sorry for the wait, boss, but I managed to gather some information. Took you long enough. Forensics has finished the investigation, and the body's been carried away. That said, we're still closing the park to the public, at least for the time being. This place was really giving me the creeps last night, but it looks pretty normal now with the sun out. Okay, does it look like there's anything else? I should also change something. Give me a moment. Uh, Hang on a second. Uh, let's see. Okay, there we go. Need to sort out the text for. Well, we've got ourselves quite a mess. Strange devs popping up all over the place that may or may not have something to do with the curses. We also need to keep looking into Yoshimi and Nejima. For now, we'd better start following up on the few leads we've got. Guess I better see what area was found out. Let's- Oh, there we go. As we discovered, there are mockingbirds in this route. Hopefully I didn't miss one. Let's see here. Yep, that's what it looks like. Swanalook Swoost. Well, let's see, anything else? Doesn't look it. He's been up all night gathering information. Must be nice to be young and have that kind of energy. But I'm glad to have him on my side. He gave me the chance to rest up. Boss, let's not go about this at random. We should think carefully about where and what to investigate. Things at the station were pretty hectic, but I managed to get some info. Let me fill you in. Thanks, the floor is yours. Serial killers. A total of 3 mysterious deaths were confirmed in the area, including the one in the park. So let's start with that one. The young man we found here. He's been identified as Shogo Oki, 25 years old, a regular old office worker who worked around here. He died of asphyxiation due to water in the lungs. He drowned. Okay, I feel a sneeze coming on. He drowned in the middle of the park. That's not possible. It's gotta be a curse we're dealing with here. About that, boss. Isn't this park associated with one of the 7 mysteries too? Whistling Canal. That's right, the Whistling Canal. It does seem like there'd be a link between the canal and death by drowning, don't you think? Stop thinking, Emil. You're starting to get the hang of this. So let's assume they're related. What next? Before that, the body of a woman was found behind a residential complex in Kamizawa. The victim has been identified as Tawako Hayashi, 29 years old. She was an office worker who lived on her own in the area. As for the cause of death, well... Yes? The entirety of her body was crushed by some kind of strong external force. No murder weapon was discovered in the area, but considering the way she was found, we're looking for something large, flat, and heavy that could have crushed her in one fell swoop. Hang on, are you saying she was stepped on? Meaning, I wonder what that is. Fool possession. Yeah, I support washing medicine. Exactly. Crushing is the foot washing medicine's modus operandi. The place the body was discovered is also known to be related to the Seven Mysteries. Then, is this Namagaki's doing? Shit, I knew he'd use it. Judging by the amount of soul drags, the victim was just a regular person, not a curse bearer. Guess we should report this to Paranormal Affairs. Got it. And as for the third victim, he was identified as Kohei Jonochi, 32 years old, and a teacher at Komagata High. He was found in the school's courtyard. The cause of death appears to be external trauma from a fall or heavy blow. The impact crushed his arms and legs. Since he was found in the middle of the courtyard, he could have fallen from the gymnasium or the main building. The teacher dying at school. And not just any school. Komagata House is one of the Seven Mysteries. Fool's possession? Right, it's where the fool's possession is supposed to be. It's too big of a coincidence. Wait, isn't that her one? We can't rule out the possibility that this death was also the work of a curse. Wait, what was it? I see. Either way, it seems all three victims can be tied to the Seven Mysteries. It's probably a curse bearer at the center of all it, pulling the strings. But you've got a point. All these strange deaths do point in one direction. That's right, and Hadri's case wasn't all that different either. He also died of mysterious causes in a place connected to the Seven Mysteries. Problem is that the timing doesn't match up. He died before the curses were activated. Could he have been hit by a different curse, when it didn't have anything to do with the Seven Mysteries? That's a thought, but... if that were the case, we'd be dealing with a powerful practitioner, one who could pull off a curse like that without using a curse stone. There aren't many people in this day and age who could do something like that. Oh, really? I see. I don't know too much about that stuff. I'd be more surprised if you did. Well, looking at these steps, it seems like many of the curse bearers acted last night. Well, at least it's not what Ariel did. But we can't rule out that there were more killings from which the bodies haven't been found. Yikes, I haven't thought of that. But there is one silver lining. Judging by my own curse stone, it seems that the curses can't be activated while the sun's out. Oh, that's great news. So basically, we're safe during the daytime? Exactly. It's also likely why Nature gave us until dusk. He must have known the curse stones couldn't be used during the day. Either way, we got till nightfall to settle this. It's time we flushed out the other curse bearers. Is it raining? Doesn't seem like it. Aye, boss. Let's do this. At the moment, we only know the identity of 4 curse bearers, you included. Itawa Namigaki had the foot washing mansion, and Hideki Araishi had the ever-burning lantern. We've got both of their curse stones. And then there's Nejima, who claims he has the one-sided lead. Yeah, that about sums it up. Okay, notes on the first balance. Yep, Fool's possession is held by Yako. So, did he kill someone? If he, I thought Neo stopped her before she could do it. We'd better figure out who the remaining 5 are, quick. How should we go about looking for them? There's no point in searching blindly without a lead. Let's focus on other things for now. Tracking down Nejima may lead us to the other curse bearers too. Either way, he should be our top priority. He could do some real damage if we don't get him. I also want to look a little more into Yoshimi. I've got a feeling there's some connection there. Aye aye, boss. Sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. I asked around Sumida Community Safety Bureau where Yoshimi was stationed. It seems like he was investigating the apparent suicide of a girl named Michiyo Shimaishi. Yeah, I heard about that. He was trying to determine whether it really was a suicide, looking into the height of the building, the force of the impact, her wounds, all that. He also suspected some kind of foul play, cause he ordered a full investigation. But it had already been deemed a suicide and his superiors told him not to go stirring things up. Huh, what was the evidence? Well, according to the report I found on his desk last night, the body was found at the foot of a building, a ways away from the road. There was no evidence of a vehicular collision, so it was ruled a suicide, but he thought there was more to it. Yes, a truck or other flat-faced vehicle traveling at high speeds could have inflicted similar damage. In other words, sometimes a traffic accident can look an awful lot like a fall. So there's a chance it wasn't a suicide. Oh, what a terrible way to go. There were no brake marks on the road, meaning it would have been a hit and run. The vehicle would have hit her without slowing down at all. This is turning into quite a grisly case. But the vehicle couldn't have come out from a collision like that unscathed. Exactly, so I asked the traffic bureau to keep an eye out for vehicles with frontal damage. But I haven't heard back from them yet. I don't think they're looking very hard. So we've got no proof. That said, if it was a traffic accident rather than a suicide, it's possible that someone silenced Yoshimi because we're on the verge of discovering the truth. That's true. You think the driver is the one who did him in? Not quite. Yoshimi had already talked to forensics and the traffic bureau, right? His death wouldn't have covered things up. You're right on that. Even if the suicide was a cover-up for a hit and run, it doesn't seem like enough reason to kill a cop. Oh, that's right. Unrelated, but I've got something else too. I managed to get a hold of Michiyo Kiraishi's address. Yoshimi went there a bunch over the course of his investigation. It might be a good idea for us to drop by too. Good thinking. Hopefully they'll give us more leads. Alright, let's move on to the next topic. Remember the girl Yoshimi met with the day he died? The one he told me Okuda? Community Safety didn't have any contact information for her on hand. Not even an address. Well, they had her parents' information, but when I called, they said they haven't heard from her in a month. Lots of family issues from the sound of it. They even said they didn't want anything to do with her anymore. That said, she still goes to school once in a while, so we might be able to find her there. Not sure we really have the time for a stakeout right now. But she could be a key witness. Can't we have community safety track her down for us? We can ask, but it might be tricky to get it done today. Nobody knows. Sorry about that. For starters, Kowagata High School is closed today. Ah, because of the teacher that died. That's right. Alright, but if it's something we can do today, we may have to forget about it. Let's move on then. It is something we can't do today. I've got some information about Yoshimi's fiancée from community safety. Her name is Mayu Chozawa, 27 years old. She works as a beautician in the area. Look, I even managed to get a picture of her. She sure is a beauty. But oh boy, here it comes. But what? Community safety hasn't been able to contact her since Yoshimi died. Not by phone or at her house. In other words, no response, dead silence. There it is, can't things be easy, for once. Mayu is a beautician and the fiancé of Hajime Yoshimi, a police officer with the Sumida Police Department. Mayu's current whereabouts remain unknown. It's definitely starting to look suspect, a crime of passion perhaps. It is fairly common for people to be killed by a lover or a spouse, but Yoshimi was well liked and they'd been together for over 10 years. You never know, things could be different behind closed doors. I guess so, but we'll have to consider the opposite scenario too. It could be that the same person who was out for Yoshimi is after his fiancée as well, so he could be in danger. You're right. Either way, she's important to the case. HQ already has people looking for her. We'll know as soon as she's found. Yeah, what does that sound? Oops. HQ has mobilized a search unit for Nejima, but so far we haven't received any word. Guessing he wasn't at home or at work. About that, apparently he vacated his last known address a week ago. You serious? So I have no idea where he lives. It gets worse. I checked in with the factory he was working at. They told me he was only there for a month before he quit. Hold on a second. You're telling me nobody caught that? Well, I had the same thought, so I spoke to his probation officer. Turns out he had been doing house visits and interviews, but never bothered checking on his workplace. He also said he'd lost track of Nejima when he moved to a new place. Jeez, that's just sloppy. I've heard that they are giving parole to just about anyone these days because they're running out of room in the prisons. Which also means there aren't enough probation officers to go around. He's probably overworked. So Nejima got the fuck about unsupervised. God damn it. That asshole is annoyingly good at faking remorse, or insanity, whatever the situation calls for. Back when I arrested him all those years ago, just talking to him left a bad taste in my mouth. He's probably hiding under a false name, which will make it hard to track him down. Then explain why he so brazenly made contact. That asshole, he's mocking us. Well, for now, the paperwork to circulate his name and mugshot is being filed. That's gonna take way too long. We only have until dusk. Speaking of Nejima, yeah? Did you manage to reach your daughter? It'd be best to put her into protective custody as soon as possible. Not yet. I can't reach her. They called, but she's not picking up. Wasn't home when they went to the house either. That's not good. Does that mean she never came home? And why would you the one trying to reach her? Shut up, I don't have her contact info, alright? Damn, she really doesn't trust you, huh? Either way, I told her mother that it was an emergency and that we'd send an officer to find her and get her to safety. She's real reluctant, but I got her to agree. I guess that explains why you got divorced. But if you, her former father, can't find her, how the hell did Nejima do it? Former, eh? That cuts deep. Yeah, sorry, it just kinda slipped out. Anyway, I suspect it has something to do with his curse echo. Back on the topic already, huh? He said his curse could kill a lot of people in a short time. It may even allow him to act from a distance. I see. The one-sided read. What was the story about again? Something about a man stalking a woman who goes insane and chops her up. Alright, one of the more gruesome of the 7 mysteries. As for Nejima's whereabouts, all we can do is throw more people at it till we find something. I'll check in with HQ frequently to see if they've got any updates. And that's about it. Shall we continue our investigation? We could go to Komagata High School to look into Hitomi Okuda, or to Michiyo Shiraishi house to find out more about her. There's a lot we need to do, but not a lot we can do. This ain't looking good. We're gonna run out of time if we don't do something. Gotta keep moving. Yeah, that's everything. Anyway, what happens if Okay, nothing. Okay, so now that we're here, how about okay, how about we change routes? So okay. Yeah, let's go with Yakuza right now. Okay. Yeah, okay. We got to find out what the heck is going on with her. Also, apparently she killed someone. Oh, good morning, Yako. Huh? Yako, rise and shine. Huh? Yeah. Huh? It's morning. Hi. Are you okay? Can you remember your name? Duh, I'm... Okay. Spectre or the Spirit? Yes, I am. The Spectre of the Spirit Born. No, don't fall back asleep. You must still be dreaming. Wake up. Yes, Yako Sakazaki. Good. Oh, Mio, thanks for last night. Was everything okay? Yep, still alive. oh, oh. I couldn't dispel the curse echo or learn the identity of who used it, but I managed to at least get away. But in that situation, it's the best you can hope for. I'm sorry I got you involved in something so dangerous. I went to look for you as soon as the sun rose, but I was just so sleepy. I can't even remember when I fell asleep. It's okay. It's only natural to be exhausted after what you went through. Besides, I also feel bad that you've been wrapped up in all of this. It's supposed to be my job to prevent that from happening. Oh yeah, you said something about that last night. Just who are you exactly, Mio? Oh, well, the truth is, I've been trained in things having to do with the supernatural. Huh? You mean you can learn that kind of stuff like you would with flower arranging? I had quite the eventful childhood. Huh, that sounds like it must have been rough. Yes, it would take a long time to explain, so let's leave it at that for now. As fate would have it, I've ended up as the apprentice, or maybe more like assistant to a notable paranormal expert. Schools have always had more paranormal disturbances because young people tend to be more susceptible to these things. I sent to schools that may experience something paranormal and put a stop to it before it happens using my Paranormasight. Wow, that's amazing! So it's like a part-time job you do while also being a student? Well, I do help maintain public order, but it's all part of my training, so I don't get any money. Oh, you've got involved then. But still, that really is amazing. You're so cool when you faced off against the evil spirit. I never know if I should be happy when you compliment me like that. But anyway, that's why it's up to me to resolve any paranormal issues at the school. And why I'm going to look into the cause of all this. Hang on a second. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. But for now, let's head to school. Yeah. Oh, do you have your curse stone? Now that it's daytime and its power is diminished, I should be able to hold on to it. Want to give it a try? Right, I do have it, but... Yako? Is it really so wrong? Trying to bring Michiyo back, I mean? I can't approve of it. The fight may seem like a dream come true, but if it involves taking the lives of other people, then... Now, of course my sinuses start acting up once I begin screaming again. The fight may seem like a dream come true, but if it involves taking the lives of other people, then... Yeah, true. I want to make sure this whole ritual ends without anyone getting hurt. That's what I believe in, well put before anything else. I'm sorry, but is it okay if I hold on to it? Yako, I promise I won't use a curse, no matter what, but maybe there's some other way. I just have this feeling that I shouldn't give up on the possibility just yet. Yeah, that said, I'll help you, even if it's to stop the curse. For the Michiyo that still exists within me, I'll settle things so we can move forward. Okay, but if you ever feel in danger, you can give me the curse stone at any point. Right. Thank you, Mio. Okay then, let's go. Huh? I I thought it unusually noisy, but there's a big group of people and police in front of the school. Did something happen? If the police are here, then something must have. I'll go ask. Thanks. This isn't good. Huh? What happened? Don't panic, okay? The first teacher who came to work this morning found something. Oh, okay. Mr. Gianotti was found dead in the middle of the school grounds. What? They're closing the school for today. But that's not all. I didn't know this either since I didn't watch the morning news, but rumors are spreading that a number of bodies were found nearby. What? There's no way! Why? Could it be? Because of the curse? We don't know enough to say. From what I heard, Mr. Gianotti's body was in the middle of the ground. But his body was covered in bruises, like he'd fallen from somewhere high. Weird. Taking into account his unnatural death and the timing, it's very likely it has something to do with the curse. You see, someone used a curse on him last night. Seems like it, doesn't it? But that's so scary. Yeesh, so the curses really do kill people. And someone used it. Shh, keep your voice down, okay? What happened if another curse spell will hurt you? Eh, sorry. Kohei is an English teacher and a homeroom teacher for Class 2C at Komagata High School. He was seen alone with Hitomi Okuda in a classroom late at night by Yako and Mio. His deceased body was discovered on the school grounds at dawn. I wish we had a little more information, but they've locked up the front gate. Maybe we could sneak in through the back entrance. Hmm? That person over there. Isn't that Hitomi Okuda? You're right, that's unusual. Oh, but she was at the school last night too. She must know something about Mr. Chonochi. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, Mio, wait for me! Huh. So you're telling me the two of you were the ones at the school last night? No sense hiding it then. Plus I owe you one, Mio. I'll tell you everything I know. Thank you. She owes you? Yeah. Right after I transferred here, there was a bit of trouble. She gave me one of those, what was it? Oh, exorcisms. So that's what it was. Yeah. I don't really get a chance to investigate. Yeah. Did you hear about Mr. Chonochi? Heard about it? I've known about it since last night. I saw that asshole bite it on the school grounds myself. What? You saw it happen? Tell us about it. What exactly happened? Don't really know myself. It was pitch black. What I can tell ya, it was almost dawn, probably around 3. He started freaking out all of a sudden, ran out onto the ground like something was chasing him, then screamed. Somebody help me, forgive me, Michiyo. Oh, something like that while he was running around. Michiyo? He mentioned Michiyo? Was there anyone else out on the grounds? It was too dark to see what from where I was. But for just a second, I think I saw a girl in a school uniform with her hand raised. Oh. I didn't go out to make sure, so it could have been nothing for all I know. Then I heard him begging for his life like I was wrong and I'll do anything. Then all of a sudden his arms and legs snapped even though he was just standing there. His arms and legs broke without anything being done to him? He fell over and quit moving, so I thought I'd better get out of there. Then he croaked. That's all I saw. I see. But from what you've told us, it almost sounds like Michiyo's ghost chased down Mr. Jodochi and killed him. Hell if I know anything about that. I'm just telling you what I heard him say. Did you tell that story to the police? Nope, and I ain't gonna. Can't count on them to shit. Not like they'd believe such an insane story anyway. Right. But there must be at least one person the police were trusting, right? Yeah, I guess. There was this one cop who always got on my case about stuff. But he died just the other day. Oh, he did? I'm sorry to hear that. Everyone who gets involved with me ends up dead. Maybe I really am cursed. Pisses me off. You've got it all wrong. The spirit that possessed you wasn't that kind of spirit. Huh? It wasn't? Yeah, this was just an unfortunate coincidence. So I'm sure that was hard enough for you. That's all I know about that asshole's death. Hey, Mio, I've been thinking something. Hmm? The way you described it reminded me of something. The way Mr. Januki died, it sounds a lot like how Michiyo died. Of course, I didn't see it myself, but the state Michiyo's body was in, it was like she had fallen from high up. Could they have been killed by the same curse? I don't think so. The curses of the seven mysteries hadn't manifested when she died. And if we can trust what the spirit board said, then Michiyo died in an accident. Oh, right. That's all I know about that asshole's death. He told me, were you possessed by some kind of evil spirit? I don't understand it all too well myself. What I can say for sure is, thanks to Mio, the weird symptoms that were happening to me all went away. Yep, some people are born with a natural sensitivity to the paranormal. We call it paranormal touch. Okay, that sounds really stupid. Yeah, I know, that's why they went with Paranormasight. They tend to end up isolated as they struggle to relate to the people around them. They also tend to draw spirits to them naturally. This can cause strange symptoms they don't understand, like headaches, muscle stiffness, and hallucinations, even memory problems. I'm sure it must have been very hard. So that's how it works, huh? Do people also have their personality taken over when possessed too? It, it is possible with spirits who have a very close relationship with their target, like siblings or a parent and a child. But you almost never hear about people being taken over completely. It's when two parties aren't in sync that those negative effects can start to appear. So the seances or whatever you see on TV are all bogus? Not quite. There are mediums and diviners who can align their minds with the spirits they call. Though there are people on TV who are just putting on a performance. Huh. There are people who in life have extremely powerful spirit sense or a deep connection with the person. But even they shouldn't be able to completely take over the person they possess. And even if they could, it'd only be enough to pressure them to choose certain behaviors that wouldn't be unusual for them to do on their own to begin with. But if that's the case, wouldn't you not know if you were choosing that behavior of your own will or not? Hence why there are lots of cases where people don't even realize they're possessed. Though the spirit may influence the behavior and memories of the host, the deeper that connection in life, the easier it is for that to occur. I see. Getting possessed by a spirit is pretty complicated, huh? It must have been tough for you being possessed for so long, he told me. Whatever might happen to me doesn't make any difference. Me being able to see spirits and stuff has nothing to do with how things ended up like this. Yeah, it's not like being able to see them is your fault either. The same goes for me. Maybe it's just something we have to live with. I think you have a knack for it yourself, Yako. I bet you could see them with a little training. I think I may pass. So that's why you do the job you do, huh, Neo? I thought she was a weirdo when she showed up all of a sudden, saying she was gonna exercise me. If you hadn't said anything, I probably would have knocked your lights out. You tried to perform an exorcism on her without telling her anything? You see, in my experience, most people don't understand, no matter how much I explain. They only accept my explanation after they see the results. Huh, I guess that makes sense. He told me last night before he witnessed Mr. Jonochi collapse. Can I ask you what he and you were doing in the classroom? You gonna t- you're gonna tell the cops? Oh, right, with everything that happened with Mr. Jonochi, they'll suspect you if we told them we saw you with him that night. Anytime something happens with someone like me, all those city adults start jumping to conclusions. I understand. I would tell them. We wouldn't have been able to kill him anyways. If you say so, then I don't mind telling you about it. So last night, that piece of shit just knows he called me over here, acting like he was gonna attack me or something. What? How terrible! Whatever, I'm glad he's dead. He had it coming. Calling people worthless and a cancer in society when he doesn't know shit about them. That asshole was the one who always was the one who that asshole was the one always acting like scum if you ask me. Is that so? Can you tell us in more detail why he called you out in the middle of the night? It's hard to explain. Let's start. Okay. What do you mean by Mr. Tsunoshi acting like scum? Was he doing something bad? You know Michiyo Shiraishi, right? The girl who killed herself? Huh? Michiyo? I don't know everything, but that creep of a teacher had some dirt on her, and he was using it to blackmail her, call her up after school and make her do whatever he wanted. What? What do you mean when you say whatever he wanted? I'll leave it to your imagination. Nothing that a couple of model students like you would ever get involved with. No, no way. That's how? What do you mean by dirt? I, I don't know anything about this. How could I not have known about this? Yato, I know how you feel, but try to calm down. You got guts acting like you were her friend. Jonochi really did a number on both Michio's body and soul. She probably felt like she couldn't tell anyone, like she had to suffer alone. No, how terrible! He told me, how do you know about this? I just happened to walk in on it. I know the spots around school people go to when they want to stay out of sight. He ran off in a panic when I yelled at him, asking what he was doing. Walked in on. I couldn't just leave her alone, looking like she was about to cry, so I stuck around for a bit. She told me everything that happened in whispers. She probably figured I wasn't the type to spread that stuff around. But she never asked for my help. She told me that she was fine and to keep it a secret. Michio, why? She probably thought she just had to grit her teeth till it was through. She was naive. I tried to tell her that if you give guys like that an inch, they'll take a mile. She kept saying about how it was her punishment. She was soft. No. Gosh, you know she didn't change. He kept on doing what he was doing. I don't understand either of them, but that's as much as I was involved. And then she killed herself. Nothing I can do about it now. He told me if you knew about it, then why didn't you? You're trying to say it's my fault? She told me not to say anything. She told me she was fine. So what the so what the hell? Sorry, that's me. So what the hell more responsibility do I have other than what I already did? Yako, there's no point blaming Hitomi. Michio, why? Did you hear what this dirt was? Nope, never heard what it was. But for the sound of it, he'd been blackmailing her since about a year ago. For that long? Dick probably caught her doing something she shouldn't have been. She looked well behaved, but there's more to a person that meets the eye, you know. There must be some reason. Don't know, got nothing to do with me. So, last night, how did it start? Ah, right. Remember that nosy cop I mentioned who was always on my case? He died at the former yacht in the gardens a couple days ago. Yoshimi was his name. He was part of the juvenile division. He didn't look like a cop at all. Real rough guy, but good at looking out for folks. So he was the only one I could talk to. Huh, so there was someone like that with the police. Too bad he ended up dying. Oh, and another thing? One time, he suddenly introduced his fiancée to me. You know what, I probably should just get a drink of water. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. It was hilarious seeing a big guy like that act like a shy little kid all of a sudden. She told me she was like me when she was at my age and that she was on my side. It must have been a terrible loss for her too. Yeah, I do feel a little bad for her when I think about how sad she must be. And I saw him at the gardens the night he died. Oh no. Whenever I would get worked up over something, Yoshimi always took me straight to that park. Then he'd listen to whatever it was I was pissed off about. That day he called me over there like usual. But something seemed off about him, like he was worried about something. Worried about something? Yeah, he asked me for a favor too. That was pretty unusual. A favor? What kind of favor? He handed me a weird talisman and asked me to hold on to it for him. A, a talisman? Yeah, just a normal good luck charm. I figured if that's it, then sure, I'll take it. I have it with me now. But that wasn't all. Then he told me he wanted me to look for a talisman Michiyo Shiraishi had that looked like this one. Huh? Michiyo? What does he have to do with this? Yoshimi had been meeting up and talking with her. While they were together, he noticed that she had like a special talisman or something. But apparently Michiyo always avoided the subject. A talisman that Michiyo had. He knew that I knew her, so that's why he asked me, he said. Could there have been something that Michiyo couldn't tell even the police about? I know things at home were a little complicated. From what I heard, Michiyo was keeping her mouth shut about what Shinochi was doing to her. Hard to talk when the cops hard to talk with the cops when someone's got dirt on you. And I didn't squeal on anything about Michiyo either. Michiyo, what is it that had such a strong grip on you? So basically, Yoshimi didn't just have his eye on Michiyo, but her talisman too. But after she died, he didn't know where it ended up. So since I knew her from school, he wanted me to look into it for him. Is there something special about the two talisman? I wonder why he gave it to you. Hell if I know. When I looked inside it, there was just a weird, kind of grimy scrap of wood. So you've seen inside it. But from the way he was acting, it seemed important to him somehow. But to be honest, what he was asking was such a pain in the ass, I figured he had to be serious about it. Oh, and since he died right after that, yeah, he even said to me, if anything happens to me, take those two talismans, give them to a guy named Nakagoshi at the police department. Knowing what I know now, he probably felt that something was gonna happen to him. Hmm? Nakagoshi? Hmm? Do you know him, Mio? No, I've just heard the name. I think. So there really is a Nakagoshi. That's a relief at least. Anyway, it didn't feel right just ignoring a dead guy's last request. He told me, yeah? The talisman, would you mind if I had a look at it? Sorry, but I don't trust it all that much anyway. It's important to me. Oh, okay. So last night, you were looking for the talisman Michiyo had? Yeah. And I figured that piece of garbage teacher would know the most about Michiyo. I asked him yesterday afternoon if he knew anything about her talisman. He gave me some cryptic response like, I can't talk about it now, come up to the school tonight. He even gave me the code to the lock on the back entrance. He seemed pretty willing to give it up, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's used it for secret meetings before. Yuck, I can only imagine. We climbed over the front gate to get in. So yeah, we met up in the classroom in the middle of the night, but none of he said made any sense. Like that I was really Michiyo and stuff like that. He went on and on about how it was my fault and that if only I hadn't been around or something. He grabbed a hold of me, breathing heavily. Ah, were you okay? Yeah, that's right when you two showed up. I was able to get away while Shinochi was freaking out. Oh my gosh, good thing you got away. So it's really all thanks to you two that I got away. But I didn't get any info about the talisman, so the whole thing was sort of a bust. Afterward, I was wondering what you two were up to, so I head nearby. Then I saw you and old man Asamiya talking, and then Mio showed up. Oh, you did? That's also why I saw Jonoji come back outside and bite it. I see. So you were only here to look for Michiyo's talisman. I was not before for that creep Jonoji's crap so easily. It could have gone a lot worse, but I lucked out. What you described does sound like Michiyo killed Mr. Jonoji. She didn't have a reason to hate him after all. No way, you mean that really was a ghost, like, for real? Those who die bearing strong resentments or regret can occasionally become a spirit, either bound to a place or moving away. However, it would usually be impossible for them to kill the living. Most don't have that kind of power. But it's possible that they could possess someone too close to them to act on those lingering regrets. Okay, I don't know why I'm so gassy tonight. I might have to end the stream early. I hope I don't because I'm actually enjoying myself. Wonder if that's what's happened. Alright then, supposing what the spirit board said is true and Michiyo's death was an accident, then she must have had some regret. Like, if she really hadn't given up on living, that is. I don't think she was the kind of girl who would just give up, no matter what the situation. I don't really know, but she didn't seem like she had something torment in her so much that she'd kill herself. Hmm, and that's all I know. Happy? I still gotta look for the talisman. Sure, thank you, he told me. Oh, and if you do find out anything about Michio's talisman, we'll be sure to let you know. Thanks. Oh, can we get your contact info? Where can we normally find you? Right, I'm not home most of the time. Usually I'm at a friend's place. Here's the phone number. Thanks. We'll call her if we need to talk with you. And what is it? Yeah, it's just to talk to that I imagine. I was kinda scared at first, but not anymore. So shut up, you're the one avoiding me. Anyway, catch you later, and don't die out there, okay? Thanks, we'll be careful. Alright then, we got a lot of new information. Sounds like Mr. Jonuchi was killed by a curse, just as we thought. Which means there was a curse bearer at the school. Multiple, in fact. Multiple? You think so? Yes, the curse echo we experienced in the school and the one that killed Mr. Jonuchi seem to be different. The people in the school at the time, other than us, were Mr. Jonuchi, he told me, and old man Asimiya, who we ran into. I was thinking it would be among them, but there was one more person he told me saw. One more person. He told me saw a person in a school uniform with braids. From what he told me was saying, it doesn't seem like she's the one. Mr. Jonuchi is pretty suspicious though. If he were a curse bearer, it would certainly explain why he was killed. Right, that's why say that there are multiple. Oh right, the person who killed Mr. Jonuchi would have to be one too. Which means it must be either the mysterious girl or old man Asimiya? Yes, we should certainly be careful of them, that said. The mysterious girl and the fact that Mr. Jonuchi thought it was Michiyo that was attacking him has me wondering. Of course, I doubt Michiyo herself was actually there, but oh, I just remembered. I also saw Mr. Amaisi outside the main gate last night. You did? It's likely he's involved with the curses given that he's the one doing research on the rite of resurrection. So we'll have to be careful of Old Man Asimiya and Mr. Amaisi. I want to believe that not all curse bearers will be hostile, but as for what to do now, I'd like to find out who is responsible for the Feast of Shadows that set this off and how they did it. I don't think we'll be able to end this without stopping at its source. Ah, that makes sense. In which case, next we should do what exactly? We need to talk with Mr. Awaisi. He definitely knows something. It should be safer during the day, so I think we should try to look for him. Got it. I'll help in any way I can. But the school is closed. I wonder where he could be. Let's try heading to some place someone may know where he is. Where to go then? Okay, so this is actually a a multiple choice question, and honestly, not much happens if you pick the wrong one. But so I'll just pick the correct option, and then we'll go from there. This is Komagata High School, and we've just hit 1 hour in the stream. So yeah. And so, Miyoko Suzu and Yako Sakazaki decided on the next location to investigate. Okay. Let's see. Which one of these two should we do next? Uh, okay, I'd say. Okay, we haven't done a hallway yet today, so let's go with her. Throughout the night, Victor continues to gather information about the Curstones, while Harley lies awake until dawn, preoccupied by the prospect of bringing her lost child back to life. Damn, really slept in, didn't you? Okay, you didn't really do much, Harley, so why did you sleep in that much? Good morning, ma'am. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your Curstone looking? I haven't felt anything from it since sunrise. Interesting. It's possible that its power can only be unleashed at night then. That aside, why are you so late this morning? There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done in what limited time I had. Very well, let's talk. Okay, let's just look around for a moment. The town is beginning to wake up once more. The clamor of society can be heard from beyond the guarded gates. Like any day, a cloud of pollution drifts out from the industrial area. This is the old mansion where I was born and raised. This is anything here. Taking a look just in case. Doesn't look like there's any mockingbirds. I know there's one. There's one in an area similar to this, which is hard to find. He's looking a bit tired. He must have been up all night investigating. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. And what's that? Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that's already absorbed Soul Drag's blood. I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with a curse bearer and have them use the blind for our purposes. Oh. I mean, I suppose that would accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible? So long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than you'd expect. Compensation? Cash, for instance. That wouldn't be off the table for a family as rich as the Sigmas, would it? Of course, why, any amount would be fine if it did get the job done. I won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way it did with the ransom. Okay, with that option on the table, let's figure out our strategy. Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind? Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers haven't been that proactive about collecting soul bags. Well, this round, no one has been on a killing spree yet. Did you see the news this morning? No, I haven't. Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in this area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Honcho serial killings. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets. Oh my. Only 3. That's what I thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul frags. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little on the low side. With this little activity all through the night, the curse bearers must be a cautious bunch. What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection? There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't seem like anyone has gathered enough soul drags yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action. And then we offer them the deal. We may be surrounded by curses and death, but it matters little. My only concern is whether I can see my child again. None of the curse bearers seem very proactive. I wonder if this situation could be what the mastermind who kicked it all off intended. That's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all. You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse stone. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose, and they are likely after the rite of resurrection as well. So, you're thinking this person is not one of the curse bearers? You've got a soft mind, ma'am. Though it might seem obvious for the mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul drags if they were after the rite. That would be very risky, since as a curse bearer, they themselves would become a target. So it'd actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively. That's right, but despite that, they've been inciting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul drags themselves? You mean their intention was also to steal the souls, while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start? Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is a safer course of action. Which is why I figured it best for us to attempt the same strategy. So, how should we do it? There's no reason to suspect the mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making contact with the other curse bearers. How do you suppose we do so? At this point, all we can do is search. All we can do is search. Oops. If there's a mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect soul drags, can we be sure that it even is a rite of resurrection? Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. Seeing it might be for naught, do you want to give up, ma'am? Never. Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But we'll do it without using the curses ourselves. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them, but I only managed to get detailed information about on 2. You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from an investigator extraordinaire. I appreciate this flattery. First, there's Ayami Todo, the girl we talked to before, though she's a curse bearer herself. She's currently a student attending T University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Michiyo Park. You even determined her address. You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire. I called every single university with ukiyo-e in the curriculum pretending to be her parent. That doesn't sound legal. I went around to check on the place on the way here. It doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into some trouble. Didn't you attempt to follow her last night? I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me. I couldn't keep track of her. And here I thought you were an investigators extraordinaire. I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She's planning to steal the curse stones just like us, so it's best we act carefully around her. Actually, I kind of like the voice I'm giving him now. Next is a tall man who was dressed in black. I met him in Michiyo. He stood out with the way he dressed. I managed to get some good information from him. Impressive. What can I say? He, wo- he works as the secretary to Hihakuso's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yumioka. The Hihaku headquarters and factories are both located in Honjo, correct? Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has showed significant growth. I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. She seemed to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assume she'd want her factories running at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of the factories with older equipment had to be shut down. That's right, even 10 years ago there were many complaints about chemical plants dumping waste into the river. Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better luck later. Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the ride would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare. Ha, now that's an interesting thought. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night. This one seems to be out collecting soul drags, right? Indeed, I couldn't get a good look at him though, and I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him. Well, that's a shame. But I can make an educated guess. Oh. You know the researcher who discovered the ancient text on the rite of resurrection? The one that lives near here. His name is Hideki Awaishi, and the man I met was very similar in stature. Oh my, even he's involved. How awfully suspect. Considering his background, could he be the one who initiated the whole affair? I think it's possible, yes. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first. Understandable. Of course, I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First, I'll return to Hihakuso's to see that man in black. The headquarters are down on the South Wabiga Street. I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. It seems it concerns the serial killings. There was a body found at Kumagata High School. The person was identified as a school teacher. His name was Kohei Chonochi. Do you think he was a curse bearer? Not sure, it's possible. But regardless, this means the two people who knew the truth about the kidnapping are both dead. Just when we were getting somewhere. It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michiyo Shiwaishi's residence. It would be wise to pay the visit. Understood. In addition to the three victims associated with the Honjo serial killings, there's Michiyo Shiwaishi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue occurring like this, they're bound to inspire strange rumors. But those two have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no? It's true, both occurred a week before this accursed situation began. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the mastermind was involved even with those killings. How? What if there were preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries curses? Can we really assume that they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily. You seem to know a lot about this. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one, too. I see. If you would investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind. You're right. If we wish to focus on the mastermind's identity, this would be a fine starting point. We might even discover more depths related to the cursors on the way. We should pay attention to today's news. Well, that's all I have to report. So we will continue with our investigation. What do you want to do? If you still can't use the curse stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start. Right, let's go on together. I want to see what's going on for myself. In that case, I trust you to decide on where we should go, ma'am. No one's in the mansion at the moment. The door has been locked shut. The housekeeper has already left after cleaning and preparing food. Where should I go to begin my search? Which places have stood out to me the most so far? Let's go Michiyo Park. Yo, Axia! We're here. This is Michiyo Park. Ayami Todo lives around here. She wasn't in her apartment when I dropped by this morning. I wonder if it's worth checking out again. How have you been, Axia? So, found you. Oh, good work going, ma'am. You found Haiku. That's the right one? Is it now? Haiku, which one is this? Okay, it's this one. Nice. Let's see. I'd say it's a mystery type game. Yeah, well basically okay. Actually, I think it's easier to. There should be a file here that can help. Not this. Hang on, give me a second. Give me a second to explain the law of this game. Okay, so basically, seven people gained different supernatural powers, all in an attempt to kill each other in order to be able to revive the dead. That's basically what this game is about. Yeah, it's basically just a bunch of stand battles. A bunch of people with stand abilities. I think that's the best way to describe it. We mainly follow three characters who have different reasons for wanting to revive the dead. So yeah. Okay, where was I? This place is connected with the story of the Taiko of Sugaru. So yeah, the powers that they get is related to a bunch of ancient folklore in this game. So such as the Taiko of Sugaru. So yeah. Not only that, Katsushika Hokusai's home was also in this area. That might be why Ayame chose to live here. Okay, this one not too important. Let's just flavor text. It seems picking up Ayame's trail is out of question for now. Why did we even come here? To describe the two characters I'm currently playing as, basically she wants to revive her dead son. He's a private investigator who is, well, he was supposed to be investigating the incident that led to her son being dead, but she's now using, she now has a change of plans and is asking him to investigate this about this rite of resurrection instead of what he originally wanted him to do. It's always heartwarming. It's always heartwarming to see children playing in the park. Victor seems to like kids, perhaps because they're on the same wavelength. Okay, one aspect I like about that dynamic is that Victor basically acts as kind of kind of like the son she never had. By that I mean the one that isn't dead. Okay, yeah, that's funny. We won't get much done standing around here. Why don't I go and check out Ayame's apartment? You don't mean to speak with her, do you? No, I'd prefer to get an idea of what she's been up to. I'd like to see whether she's been home or not, just to potentially get a trace on her movements. Then be my guest. Okay, I shouldn't be long. I'm back, ma'am. So, nothing. I'm afraid so, she hasn't returned. However, I noticed a few people who seem to be related to the police force keeping watch in the area. I don't know if they got eyes on her apartment, but they do appear to be watching the building it's in. Interesting. You've got a sharp eye to have noticed them despite them being so covert. What can I say? It's part of the job. However, it meant I had to refrain from knocking on her door or looking through her windows. I wasn't able to check her electric meter or mailbox either, unfortunately. You were planning to go that far. Anything else? You won't make much progress sticking around here. Okay, looks like I'm done with this area. What a waste of time, we should move on quickly. Let's move through. Let's go to the high school. Okay, we don't really have much reason to be here in particular. Here we are at ground zero, Komagata High School. I guess it's logical that the police has got this place shut down. The teacher's body was found here, after all. It's as if the students have nowhere to go now that the school has been closed. I believe that's actually... No wait, there is something of note here. The news has attracted a bunch of curious onlookers, huh? That works in our favor. The more people around, the better we can blend in. It seems the officers are still inspecting the scene. Entry has been strictly prohibited. Okay, there's something... Yeah. I guess I can't do that yet. He appears to be wary of those police officers. Maybe the police really do have something against private investigators, just like in those detective novels. This place is said to be connected with the story of the fool's possession. I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bearer decided to turn up. However, I need to find out if that teacher was a curse bearer or not. I expect the police to be baffled since they don't know about the curses. We can ask around and see what the students have to say. Okay, got it. Alright, I'll go ask the students about Michiyo. I'm back, ma'am. So, what did you learn? That school kids sure love a good rumor. I was practically drowning in stories about Mr. Jonoshi and Michiyo, most of which seem dubious at best. Not surprising. Much of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought, but there was one story that caught my attention. Oh? Some believe that Michiyo is the one who killed Mr. Jonoshi. Really? There's always got two pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently he's been mumbling that Michiyo was going to kill him for some days now. A fellow student overheard his mumbling and told the students. And then it spread like wildfire, I suppose. Rumors that usually don't stay a secret for long. As for the other piece of evidence, a pigtailed girl in her school uniform was seen around the school last night. Go on. Although numerous people claim to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some are proposing it was Michiyo brought back to life or that it was her vengeful spirit. But it's not like Michiyo is the only high school girl to wear pigtails. This rumor might have just been made up to fan the flames. But if it were true, I'd want to get a hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that would be ideal. There's still one more thing I should mention. I discovered where Michiyo lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. That's an amazing find. I believe all of the students actually have a copy of the said list. It really worries me how easy it was to obtain what should be confidential information. Imagine what would happen if that information got into the wrong hands. Well, so far it hasn't, no. Sure, let's hope it stays that way. In the meantime, it is now possible for us to visit Michiyo Shiraishi's house. I can imagine the students are uneasy after learning of the murder. It may do them well to stay at home for some time, if not for fear of their safety. The police are probably too wrapped up in solving the case to be concerned about the students' mental health. Boy, don't we know it? I can see that. It's important that society provides a safe environment for the benefit of our youth. Some school policies could use some rewriting, especially those handling the students' personal information. That's right, I don't want a student ever being kidnapped on their way back home ever again. I expect criminals to grow more cunning as time passes. There may be time where the authorities can't keep up. That's where outlaws such as myself come in. What's this about? Actually, forget I said anything. Is there anything else here? Michiyo's home. I expect her family might be able to tell us more, but it's a hard topic to bring up so soon after her suicide. It, however, is normal for a high school girl to keep things hidden from her parents, especially if it involves criminal activity. Okay, looks like we're done here. I haven't saved in a while, might as well do. Probably should do that just in case. Okay, let's move to South Omega Street. The Hyaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of South Omega Street. They were closed when I visited this morning, but it appears things are up and running now. Okay, back in the Edo period, the canal known as South Omega Street ran through this area, but it's been turned into a major road. It's a bit away from the Kinshicho Station or Ryogoku Station, though it's still considered a nice area. The stories of the ever-burning lantern and the foot-washing ransom both took place around here. One of the bodies discovered this morning was found by this road as well. This is quite a lively area, though. I suppose you could call it somewhat of a city center. Okay, this one's not super important. So, an influential person at Hyaku Soaps is potentially a curse bearer. Victor proposed to use money to negotiate for the curse stones. But we could hardly outbid a large corporation if it came down to it. He tells me he barely slept last night and yet he seems to be brimming with energy. Was I too that resilient at his age? Perhaps it's what set apart a detective from the rest. First, I need to confirm whether Takumi is the man I ran into last night. Then I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. It'll be better if I go inside the headquarters alone. You should walk around, visit a cafe for some tea, perhaps. To think a small soap-making company could grow so much in such a short time. There are factories and warehouses throughout the area now. You can see why director and our chairwoman Natsue Yamamori is called the Queen. A chemical producer that ranks 4th largest in the domestic detergent market and 7th largest in the cosmetic market. From its humble beginnings as a small soap factory established after the war in 1946, founder Natsue Yamamori utilized her feminine perspective and a well-timed economic boom to boldly lead the company into new markets. Even as the market grew crowded with the industrialization of Sumida City, the company continued to expand, digging its roots deep into the area. In particular, it established itself as a household name by focusing its branding towards the rapidly expanding convenience store market. Its flagship products now include cosmetics, detergent, soap, shampoo, and more. The company name Hihaku can also refer to kasuri, a type of patterned fabric. Natsue is the former president of Hihaku Soaps, a large chemicals company. Though she retired from her position 2 years ago, she still wields great influence over the company from her position of chairwoman. Recently, there have been rumors about her possessing strange and powerful magical abilities, earning her the nickname the Witch of Hihaku. Mentioned that Takumi works as her secretary. That's right. Do you think it's possible he's acting on her orders? That's exactly my thinking. A curse bearer with both money and power could certainly look at resurrection as the next prize. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. I'm going in. I may be a while, so feel to. Oh, that's a typo. So feel free to find somewhere to kill time. Okay, good luck in there. Sorry to keep you waiting. How did it go? I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. There's no doubt he's the same man I saw last night, but it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. But that doesn't mean he has no connections to the recent curses. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own. Excuse me. I tried to approach Takumi about the fallen item after I ran into him last night, however. You said your name was Victor, correct? I have a favor I'd like to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your possession. Curse stone? What are you on about? There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night. And your arrival here only confirms it. You are a curse bearer, no? You're right, we lack time. I'll confess, I'm a curse bearer. I possess the curse stones of the haunting clappers. I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It is a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. And I didn't know the soap business specializes in scrubbing curses clean. It is the prerogative of Miss Yamamori. Is that so? Assuming you have obtained a curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Miss Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. She also has a deep love for the land, having transformed it from the pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the son of those curses running rampant. So you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. Oh, sorry, I meant a real-life bitch. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamiodo who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this matter? These are curses you're speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable actions. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over that curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. We have 6. 6? Well, I can rest at ease then. And here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we're on the same page. If that is the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now? Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I've got something important to attend to, but I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you would refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume. How prudent of you. I'll oblige. And that's how it went. So they are after the right after all. I wouldn't be so quick to trust him. Oh? I believe you're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well. Like, really? 6? That's excessive. Well, now I feel gullible. The company is plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with the curse stones. You seem rather desperate to get a hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul drags. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch. I wonder about that too. If she really were that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up as he went, or he's trying to spread a rumor. For what purpose would he do that? Recently, people have been caught up about the occult more than ever. Ever before, if word spreads that Hihaku's chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. That's unsettling. By the way, there's one more thing of interest I heard while in the company's reception lobby. And what's that? People were discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee. Really? So as long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation though. Despite that, I have reason to believe Hihaku's soul is deeply involved in the 7 mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you I've gathered that much. The more we could know, the better our investigations will go. In the meantime, we should be off somewhere else. There's no reason to stick around here any longer. We should avoid Hihaku for the time being. It will be a pain if I have to deal with Takumi again. How interesting that the Queen of Hihaku, or the witch, whatever she is trying to get her hands on the rite of resurrection. It's like some kind of dark fairy tale. Regardless of what it is or isn't true, we must stay one step ahead. Anything here? We're here, this is Little Michiyo Park. Doesn't look like anything's changed. Is it a toilet bowl? Okay, let's go to her house. How did it go? I went to visit Michiyo Shiwaii's family home. However, no one seemed to be there. I got no answers at the door and all the lights were out. Seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspaper out front. It's a bit quieter over here. It's a residential area after all. All these rundown row houses really scream working class, don't they? Of course you wouldn't get it, because, well, you're kind of rich. Yes, I wouldn't know what commoners are up to. I don't understand why no one's coming to this house, even after Michio's committed suicide. I wonder if this place is okay. I've never met like these messy and cluttered back streets. They give me the jitters every time. It's reassuring to have someone as strong and tall as Victor accompanying me. He looks so unfazed. I suppose a detective is used to this kind of thing, always investigating and chasing criminals. I wouldn't be cut out for it. Social connections run deep in working class areas like this place. Hint, hint. So I decided to talk to the locals. I feel like you have something against me. Oh, not you, in particular. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out the CYEC's reputation really went down the dumps this past year. Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. The previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in turn. So far so good. What happened? Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Kankichiro Iwai. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow everyone knew his name. So, one of this EY character. He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. The neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him not hit Michiyo. That's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbors also began to hear an eerie chanting. Through this, the Chiwaisi standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She would stop responding to her neighbors, she would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shelters closed even during the day, and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. Give me a moment. And then Michiyo reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Iwai, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwai hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michiyo's circumstance, but just as many were fed up with the Shiwaii's entirely and seemed relieved that things finally quieted down again. It seems they were still considered outsiders even after 3 years of living here. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one's partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem moved by that story, man. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. Let's see. Kankichiro Iwai, the common law husband of Michiyo Shiraishi's mother, Toshiko Shiraishi. Kankichiro started coming and going from the Shiraishi household a little over a year ago. It seems he has served some time in prison, but the details are unknown. Hmm? Oh, so you came here too. Hmm? What is it? Ah, could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Victor? Okay, sorry, but I think I'm going to end it here for now. It's getting pretty late where I'm at, and I've been streaming for an hour and over an hour and 47 minutes now. So, we'll continue on next up from here, following Tetsuo's route in Fancy Sushi. So, yeah, thanks, Axia. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be continuing with Plants vs Zombies. So hope to see you there, Axia. And with that, I'm calling off the stream. This is Santa Kia signing out. Bye bye, Axia. Good night.